So I don't usually make political videos, but this is another one I'm doing after the Dilbert video. I mostly just want to do this one because I feel like people who are listening to the story really don't understand how bad this story is. So if you don't know, basically Fox News is in $1 billion lawsuit against Dominion voting machines. Um, the company that made the voting machines and stuff, for how they reported on the 2020 election. They inspired January 6th and how they basically lied about the election. you know, and this is a completely justified lawsuit. They should be in trouble because they were, this company is being scared away, having customers being scared and afraid of using their product because this company was very much liably so lying about them publicly on their news platform. And yeah, and so a lot of people are like, oh, finally, Fox News is brought to justice. And one of the big pieces we saw today from the New York Times was there was when Fox News called Arizona and found out that Trump had lost Arizona, and they reported on this factual information, they had lost viewers. And so the team was deciding whether or not they should have actually reported on this piece of factual information or continuing lying about it. I want you to take that moment and sink that in. Whether or not they should have continued lying about a factual information. This so-called news source had higher ups in the company debating on whether or not they should have reported on this factual information because they lost some ratings due to it. Also, think about that. Because they're reporting truthful, factual information, their ratings went like holy shit, right? So, yeah, this one's a pretty scary. So, yeah, I think there's something where like I think some people are hoping that people will come out of this story and they'll go, oh, might bring some of these Fox News people to light. And the reality is it won't, because this is not the first time this company has faced consequences for things that they've said. This is one of the most grand scale ones because this is the one that led to January 6th. This is the one that led to a lot of the shit happening that's happening right now. But what you really need to understand about this bullshit is Tucker Carlson has been in a courtroom and admitted under oath that he does not report factual information. He does not consider himself a news source. He just does it for the entertainment. And that is how he's escaped legal consequences for things in the past. You can look this stuff up. And so, if that is factually out there, then why do these people still listen to Fox News? Why do these people still believe this shit and follow this shit? It's because when you look at the Republican Party, most of them are religious folks, and things like that, and religious people and Republicans have one major thing in common. They believe what makes them feel comfortable. If you ever met a religious person, when you argue with them about anything about their religion, they want to fight you about it. They don't like to be pressed or ask questions about it because they believe what makes them feel good and not what's factual. And that's not me trying to attack anybody who has a religion or whatever, but like if I was to ever question anyone on their faith, that's just what you would deal with. And the Republican Party is basically a religion at this point. It is not a real political party in the sense that nothing that they do is factual. Nothing that they say is factual. And if it is factual, it's very skewed facts where, yeah, that's factual, but under this microscopic lens is it factual, where most of what they're saying is BS, but 5% of what you said is truthful or accurate, or things like that. And so that's kind of where we're at with this party. And so we're not going to get people to come out and leave this party. I'm sorry, it's just not going to happen. And I think there are definitely people who will leave and will come out and let this. But at the end of the day, the truth has been out there. We know that the election wasn't stolen. We know that this stuff, it wasn't truthful. We know all this shit. But it doesn't matter because this is a religion and not a political party. And when it comes to religion, people want to believe what makes them feel good and what's not and not what's factual. So if it makes you feel good to be a Republican, you're gonna be a Republican. And to be fair, there are aspects of the left that are like this as well. I am not here to just solely say it's just only Republicans who are like this, but it's mostly Republicans because at the end of the day, when you look at this information, that most of these people have a huge association with being religious on the Republican end, makes you really come and look at this and go, yeah, I can see why they think like this. I can see why there was a debate for this news source to debate whether or not they should have reported factual information about something. Jesus Christ. I don't know. It's just crazy. But I want to make this video saying kind of how I felt. And I've even told people who are family members, who are Fox News people, I've told them. Tucker Carlson has admitted in a courtroom that he does not tell you factual information. And yet they still listen to them. Because they literally told me point blank, no, you're wrong. Truth's out there, and apparently I'm wrong. Again, these are people who want to believe what makes them feel good. And unfortunately, what makes you feel good and what's actually true are not always the same thing. You may like drinking 12 kegs of beer a day. Doesn't mean it's good for you, but I guess if it makes you feel good, it makes you feel good. You know? That's where I'm at with this kind of stuff. I thought this was an interesting story that broke, and I wanted to make a video addressing it because it's a pretty big one, and I think I have a different perspective on it than most people will have on this. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Like, share, and subscribe.